I do that? I freaking killed him.
So maybe there might be another event added into the files. There might be some more information regarding what's going to be happening with the storyline as it progresses towards season 7, as well as the Lindsay Party skin is officially going to be removed. So we have a lot of stuff to talk about in this video. Before we start the video, we get into all of that. I want to remind you guys that we got a 1,000 V-Bucks giveaway going on right now. So if you guys want to start this V-Bucks, all you guys got to do is drop a like on the video, subscribe to the notification on, and comment down below. Enter the winner is the chosen at the end of this month, and also creator features so you guys can support me. They pretty much announced a Fortnite and NFL crossover or collab that's going to be including a bunch of new skins. Now, another thing is that it's going to be very, very hyped for this update is going to be the Week 7 loading screen. Now, with the Week 7 loading screen, that means we're going to understand a little bit more on what happened with the storyline or what happened with this. Now, it doesn't really make too much sense what we teleported into during this event or what the butterfly has to do with and what it kept Kevin the Cube had to die for. I mean, it doesn't make sense. The whole point that we have this whole event, the fact that Leaky Lake has turned into this pretty much happy place, even though the theme is Darkness Rises, and it seems like from the very beginning it's all about this whole darkness vibe, this evil theme, and now it's suddenly all just majestic and rainbows and sunshine and all of that. It makes completely no sense at all. So hopefully with this loading screen, we're gonna understand the storyline a little bit more. I obviously will make a video tomorrow when it does drop, and we do have some more information on that. Now, one thing else that I wanted to mention as well is the week 7 actual skin. So we have the hunting party skin. With tomorrow's update, they're gonna officially be adding him into the files, or her, depending on what the skin is. Now, one thing that I wanted to mention is normally whenever Fortnite does this, they normally wait till the very last minute, so they do the update like pretty much the same day that the week 7 challenges are going to be available, sort of to pretty much limit it. So I'm not sure why they're doing the update so freaking early compared to when the challenges for week 7 actually drop. So week 7 challenges are normally around Thursday or Friday, and now we're getting this update 2 days in advance. So maybe Fortnite's going to try to block it off somehow, but even if the skin is not added into the files, the loading screen is going to give us a hint. So far, every single time the secret skin has always been added into the week 7 loading screen. So even if the official 3D model and like the way the full skin looks isn't revealed to us, we'll know exactly how it looks in the loading screen. But those are just some of the things that you can be hyped for and excited for. There might be some map changes, especially since Halloween is over now. They might be taking down all of the decoration. They might even switch it up into like an autumn type of thing. I'll show you guys an image, but some guy pretty much made a little concept of it, and he said, okay, maybe this could be what will happen in tomorrow's update for map changes. So maybe we could be seeing something like this, especially since I mentioned earlier that after the whole event, pretty much the Fortnite world seemed all happy and just pretty much rainbows all over the place and sunshine. So maybe they're going to slowly start altering the map to make it a little bit more like that, and maybe this is going to hint towards the season 7 theme. Maybe the season 7 theme is going to be like the opposite of Darkness Rises. We'll have some like fairies and magic and all that. I'm going to discuss all that in another video in the future, but what do you guys think about all this? What do you think is going to be happening in this update, and what are you most excited for? So definitely you can expect new skins, map changes, road trip skins, storyline. Those are just a couple of things. Even gifting could be added for all we know. I don't want to sit here and say that because I do say it every update, but you know, with every update that we have, there's always a possibility that gifting could end up being enabled. But let me know what you guys think about all of this. The number one thing that I'm very, very hyped for to see what's going to be happening with the map and what's going to be happening with the storyline. So once they put all of this together, maybe we'll understand a little bit more on what's going to be going on later down the season, how the ending season is going to be like. As of right now, it just pretty much ended this whole cube thing that's been starting up all the way since last season. It just pretty much ended halfway through the season, so we still have a month left, and we need to wait and find out what's going to be going on with that. But it seems like a new storyline or a new chapter is going to be starting for us, and with this loading screen that we're going to be getting, this is going to be the very first update after this whole storyline and all of this stuff. So it's pretty much like a new Fortnite, a new start, a new game. All of it's going to be starting with this new update. So if there's any information on any new files or anything like that, I'm going to update you guys. So definitely make sure you guys do subscribe, turn the notifications on. I'm going to be uploading many videos tomorrow, so make sure you guys are notified so when I do upload them, you get alerted and you understand, you keep up to date with all the Fortnite news. But before I end the video, a word from our sponsor. If writing is a sore subject for you, then you need to definitely check out edgebirdie.com. You can choose from hundreds of professional writers who are skilled in different fields of study. These pros will help you with whatever academic writing assignment you have, whether you just want to edit a paper or you want to write a new one from scratch. Writing is definitely easier with EduBirdie. But anyway, all that being said, that is it for the video. I hope you guys
fire shot misses. So it's about worry.
Hey. Hi.
Oh my god, he's actually talking to me. I have to say something super cool back. Yo!
Hey guys, what is up? Niaz here with Film Comics Explained, and today we'll be taking a look at the wildfire virus, which was featured in the Walking Dead television series, based on the incredible graphic novel by Robert Kirkman. Although there were many attempts to study and understand the wildfire virus during the initial stages of the outbreak, scientists were ultimately unable to determine whether this was a man-made catastrophe or an act of nature. In the television series, it's explained that everyone in the world had suddenly contracted the zombie virus, which had the ability to essentially bring the dead back to life. Once it had infected a host, the virus would remain dormant within the brain, leaving the host to appear otherwise healthy. However, once the host had died, the virus would become lethal, infecting and reviving neural structures of the brain cells and parts of the cerebellum, effectively turning the deceased person into a zombie. As mentioned before, it's explained that most, if not all, human beings on the planet have been infected with a dormant strain of the virus, which would suggest that it was either airborne, waterborne, or both. I know that a lot of people assume that getting bitten in the Walking Dead universe meant that you were now infected with the virus, but this is not the case here. As mentioned earlier, contrary to conventional zombie fiction, a zombie bite in the Walking Dead universe doesn't mean the transmission of the virus itself. This is due to the fact that everyone on the planet had already been infected with the dormant strain of the zombie virus through unexplained means. The virus is merely waiting for the body to die before it can activate itself and take over the host. What the bites and scratches caused by the walkers actually do is begin the process of irreversible contamination, as their blood and saliva, which contain an active strain of the virus, is believed to induce a cytokine cascade, which is a fatal immune reaction consisting of a positive feedback loop between cytokines and white blood cells. This is
654. Yeah, I love that. Thank you, game.
The success rate of such procedures by untrained people was quite low. If a person is bitten by a walker and cannot amputate the wound or deal with the loss of blood, an active strain of the virus will begin spreading throughout their bloodstream. It's here that the virus will begin to transform and induce a fatal cytokine storm, which causes fevers, aches, and fatigue. As the infection develops, the virus spreads throughout the brain, infecting neural structures and synapses. Finally, the adrenal glands hemorrhage as the brain shuts down. At this point, all brain activity would cease to exist, along with that of any major organs. After a varied passage of time, the brain will then reanimate the bodies into walkers. Now, the walkers are essentially the reanimated corpses of people that have regained limited functionality, coupled with an insatiable desire for flesh. Some dead beings do not appear to feel or respond to pain, and after their subsequent reanimation, are able to survive brutal injuries that would incapacitate or kill a regular person. What's most worrying about the walkers is that, like conventional zombies, they do not require sleep water, or food to survive, yet they still maintain an unbounded level of hunger for flesh. It's explained that these undead were attracted to sound and movement and had the ability to detect scents, which enabled them to differentiate between the living and the dead. This is evident as some survivors are seen walking among the dead, covered in their scent, without alerting the walkers to their presence. Their individual strength is dependent on the physical makeup of the infected host and the length of time that they've been infected. This is due to the fact that with the passage of time, all zombies will decay, causing their muscles and entire body to become weaker over the years. However, even in a decomposed state, they are seen capable of taking a lot of physical damage, and anything other than attacks to the head, the severing of their spinal cord, or dismemberment essentially left them undaunted. As Daryl had explained earlier on in the TV series, the only way to truly bring down the walkers was by destroying their brains. Speaking about the intelligence of the walkers, the creator of the series, Robert Kirkman, had this to say. In the beginning, we saw the walkers do things like using a rock to help bash the doors in, or turning a doorknob, asking whether there was a reason we don't see so much of that anymore, before answering his own question and saying that this was because older zombies were less capable than those that had recently undergone the process of reanimation, and therefore still retained small fragments of their past selves. Though the mindless nature of the walkers made a handful of them quite easy to deal with, provided you had the right training and weapons at hand, they are truly terrifying in their massive numbers, aimlessly following each other as a horde looking for their next meal. It also did not take long before you found yourself surrounded by a horde, which essentially made traveling undetected the priority over combat. I'm a big fan of the comic series, and I also loved both The Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead. From the very first episode, I knew that we were watching something that was more emotionally resonant than anything that had been attempted before in the zombie genre. From seeing Rick struggle to find his family, to the many obstacles the group must overcome along the way, The Walking Dead is a visceral, emotional, and bleak outlook at the potentiality of an unexplained zombie outbreak. Well, that's all for today, folks. Thanks to you guys who suggested we take a look at the wildfire virus and The Walking Dead. If there's any other content you would like me to check out, don't hesitate to ask. As always, it's been a pleasure. Niant here with Film Comics Explained. Thanks for stopping by.
You know, I found Randall, right? He turned, we wouldn't bit.
We're all infected.
What?
But the CDC, Jenner told me. Whatever it is, we all carry it.
My name's Thomas DeLauer, and you're probably wondering, what the heck are these arrows pointing to on my stomach? Well, if I can have the camera zoom in here.
In my original test of ambush theory, I only sampled cheetahs.
That's a yes. Yes, yes.
In my second installment of testing ambush theory of big cats, I compare leopards with cheetahs. There's a stark difference between the two, and the willingness and nature to do it. The difference between cheetahs and leopards' ambush styles is certainly related to their mental and physical diversity. It's influenced by the habitat in which they live, pressures from nature over time, and predation success rates. Cheetahs are physically and mentally designed to run. They have a high center of gravity, lower muscle mass, and can't grapple as well as a leopard can. In stark contrast are leopards, which are physically and mentally designed for close proximity encounters with predators or prey. Leopards have a larger head and jaws, massive paws with retractable sharp claws, a lower center of gravity, more muscle mass, and the willingness and ability to fight and grapple. All the above and more are why you see leopards classified as ambush predators, and cheetahs typically not. Now, watch a simple comparison of the two. inside the leopard enclosure and turn your back. That's because knowledge is power. I know these leopards would pummel me if I did that. These leopards are young, and I don't want to encourage them jumping on people. I only did this once for educational purposes. Watch how showing my face instinctively gets Cassius to approach closer. It's the exact technique leopards use to ambush their prey in the wild. That's what happens. Hey, Cassio! Hey, buddy. These are one-year-old male African spotted leopards. You're attacking me again. I just look at it. I kicked out my back, man. They are absolute, absolute ambush predators, really are. So, what about turning your back to a cheetah while you're asleep? What will happen? Purr, wake you up, lick your face, and chew your nose. And keep you up most of the night. That was just for fun. Let me show you what happened when I turned my back to a cheetah I hadn't seen in over a year.
Just a broom. Good morning, groom. Okay. Granted, that's tame cheetahs. But, love you.
Sell it?
And you never come, yeah. I hope so. It is. I ain't putting all that stuff back in the bin.
How's that make any friggin' sense? I get to shoot once, my bullet hits.